Personal sovereignty. That's a big thing with me. How about you? Personal sovereignty, the whole thing where we actually own our life. Look, we can't make any more hours in a day or in a week or in a month or a year, right? That magic 168 hours a week, that's what we have. And a lot of times pressures are put on us, positive and negative pressures, but pressures are put on us to use that time in other areas that do not match our objectives. Personal sovereignty. Personal sovereignty. How about the state of our well-being, our energy, our vigor, our vitality? Personal sovereignty. Do you own that? Do you own that? Have you taken responsibility for that? Do you own it? Personal sovereignty. How about looking out in the future? Are the things you're doing today going to meet the objectives where you'd like to be a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now? Personal sovereignty. It all comes down to that 168 hours you have a week and the ability to drive it from the standpoint of our state of well-being. Again, that energy, the vitality, right? Thought processes, mental acuity, the thing to stay on point. And that comes down to a degree of discipline. You know, a man or a woman without discipline really is just lost in the morass of mediocrity. And there's a lot of that around you, and there's a lot of people who practice that morass of mediocrity. And sometimes you justify your life because what seems around you seems normal, but that's got nothing to do with, again, personal autonomy. It just doesn't. I'm that freedom seeker. How about you? Really, how about you? Do you seek freedom? Are the things that you're doing today allowing you to move into a state of total control of your time, total control of your, again, state of well-being? Is it? You know, I see a lot of athletes who squander that whole lessons they've learned of discipline. And the reason they're squandering it is because they've validated themselves through the adulation of others. Not inside their household, not inside themselves, but the adulation of others. So then fear comes in when they're having to retire from their sport, their objective, and it's like, well, I don't know how to do that. What will other people think of me because I'm doing some other things and I have to stretch myself and I have to learn new skills and do other stuff. Again, that's the whole thing of personal autonomy. Having control of ourselves, understanding and practicing the principles of discipline with a focus on where you want to be and taking the actions today that are absolutely spot on to the objectives that you have in the future. Personal autonomy, freedom seeking, that whole personal responsibility of your state of well-being. That's you. That's nobody else. That is you. Absolutely, positively you. And the question is are you practicing it? Is it of value to you? Do you value your life and your future? I don't care what you do currently. Listen, I've hit that point in my life where my objective is to introduce this concept to as many people as possible. As I say, this year, 100 people who absolutely, positively decide that they're going to own their life, not be told how they're going to live their life, but are going to own their life. How about that? How about you? Is that you? Is that something that you would want to explore? You know, what is your dynamic? What is it that you would like to do with your life? Because if you can decide that just a little bit, just to be able to take some small steps and have some small wins, things start to get better and better and better and bigger and bigger. You see the whole picture in an altogether different light. I've experienced that. I've experienced that all over the world. I've experienced that. But by God, you have to decide that you own your life, that personal autonomy is something that's important to you, that nobody else is coming to save you, nobody else is coming to make your life better except you. And then a team and group of people, hopefully your family and stuff, team and group of people that get on the same page to explore the advantages of owning your life. Explore the the whole objective of moving into a different state of energy, moving into a different state of prosperity. And again, I come back to the athletes I work with. I've seen so much talent get wasted because their validation of their life was based outside of themselves. It was, again, the adulation of the fans or other teammates or other things that way. Aren't I great? Aren't I great? You know, all that sort of stuff. It's like, hey, you learned the principles of discipline. You knew what it was like to be relentlessly consistent in your development of skills and just to show up in the first place. But why wouldn't you take that and translate it into the rest of your life? Well, again, I come back to it. It's the thing of you look outside yourself for validation. Validation happens here, right here, right here. The validation quotient is this thing that beats inside of you. And you die a little bit every day when you decide that you're going to give up that whole thing of personal autonomy. Again, it's at 168 hours a week. That's all you've got. You can't make any more. You can make more money, but you can't make more 168 hours. The question is, okay, how do I take that 168 hours and put it to work for me so that I can grab back hold of my life, own my life, not degrade my life, not wind down my life, but to accelerate my life. And by accelerating your life, you accelerate the life of people around you. Because you enter a room, you enter a place, you become a different person, and people say, hey, I want a little bit of what he's got. Yeah, personal autonomy. Are you up for it? Really, are you up for it? Are you up to own your life? Only you can answer that, because from there, we can take the steps to get you there. One small step at a time. All right, that's Coach Richard for today. Enjoy, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.